And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10th episode of Blockchain Gaming News. We made it to double digits.
Hooray!
Yeah, good job, guys. Yeah, welcome to
Nice.
Andrew and Isaac. How's it going?
Hey guys, I'm good.
Hey guys.
Kind of tired.
Oh,
Well,
it's
All good.
it's mid-afternoon. You shouldn't be tired.
All right. Well, he expected more than that.
Yeah, man, I kind of did. I'll be honest. Yeah.
Well, let's just jump into the news, man. Yeah, I was up late working on stuff. I don't know where to begin. Maybe the blog. Let's give Isaac a chance to talk.
Yeah, let's let me screen share here. Show you guys the blog. There you go. Present to everyone.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start with the concept of the blog, which is basically we want to give community members a place to post their articles if they don't have one already. And there's a twofold operation here. There's the WordPress blog and the Medium publication. And what's cool about these is that they're designed specifically not to cannibalize each other's SEO. There's an import to Medium function. And I think you can also do the reverse from Medium to WordPress, but I'm less familiar with that. But it will point back to your original page such that if your blockchain gaming project has a WordPress blog or has a Medium articles without a publication, then you can add them to ours on the other end. So you can add your Medium articles to our blog, or if you have a WordPress and you're not posting on Medium, start doing so. And these posts will link back to the original. So it's a good SEO generator, and I'll probably start writing blog articles when I have time as well, like about games that I'm playing. And here you can see Isaac's been designing the layout. Still a work in progress. Been collecting feedback from users. So Isaac can talk about his efforts.
Yeah, well, efforts. I mean, it was not as much, but yeah, it's about getting it right. Getting it, because this is more about making it as readable as possible. So I'm trying to keep it as like the articles themselves as with a simple background, so that it's more ease on the eyes. And yeah, that's the whole point. And I don't want to cluster it with all those banners here and there. This seems really nice. Yeah,
and
with all the links on the top, which would just actually go to all the pages, whatever we want.
You put it under a subdomain, right? So it's got like a separate WordPress from our original one. So we're gonna start handing out WordPress.
Yeah. So what I did was for convenience, right? So I could have it is a subdomain of our main domain, but I have actually installed it as a how do you say, a different instance of WordPress. So it's not really linked, but that makes it better for organizing. So we'll make some IDs, and people can actually just have their own IDs, and they don't mess with the whole main website, for example, if something happens.
Yeah. So basically, we're handing out WordPress credentials for now. Like, until we have lots of content, we don't want to flood it from any one project too much. So I've been trying to ask for different projects to pick their best article, if they want to give one, and have an article about each project, and people could come start to use our blog as a portal into all the projects out there. I think it would be fun. Probably I'll start writing. I have an idea for an article already about Chibi Fighters, because that remains the game I play the most. And I noticed an interesting trend. I don't know about to call it a token economic trend. I get really into the math behind these games and like what drives the prices of certain assets. And I thought it would be fun to explore correlations, but I haven't got around to it yet. We've been super busy. We also had our meetup. Last meetup was with Volition crypto card game. Can see it on YouTube. It was a pretty casual conversation. We hung out and talked, and he didn't really have any demo to show, but his game he's working on is physical collectible card games on the blockchain using cryptography.
Yeah, Yeah, the cool thing is the printable was the plan. So like you own your cards on chain, and if you actually want to play the game, you print them out. So like between friends, you can kind of just print out whatever card you want, like house rules. But like in a tournament style, you'd have to verify your deck. So that way, it makes it like transportable, playable, saleable, right? And as you print out the cards. So that was a really cool aspect that I don't think anyone's done yet.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And you could print out crappy versions if you wanted, or you could go to like down the street. Like we have, every city has multiple print shops, and you could just like business card quality, just slightly
make
bigger.
some really thick ones, with a emboss on it,
Yeah, you could show up with a really nice deck, and you can design your own backs or whatever. Like you could have your own. Yeah, it's just a cool concept.
Oh, that's super cool.
It's good to see people pushing new things like that, right? A lot of the card games are just like, okay, it's still a digital card game, but now you own your cards. I mean, but the good thing about digital card games still is like you have more room for mechanics. So like you can just do things that you couldn't do normally, right? Like anything random without like busting out a bunch of dice and doing a bunch of math. Yeah.
Two interesting things that were interesting to me anyway about his project was, one is his revenue opportunities seem heavy on peripherals, like kind of like Nintendo does with the Wii and selling gadgets attached to their games. We could see opportunities here to sell like special card printers, make them laminated, make them what's the word? Holographic, right?
Oh,
when I played Magic, I always, you always want the holo cards. And in a scenario where a game goes physical, the opportunities for third-party peripheral sales are greater. And that will be interesting to see down the line. The other thing that was interesting to me was he's not going for the typical token model. So his cards aren't tokens. They are cryptographically verified on the blockchain, and can be traded, yes, but in a different format than we're typically accustomed to seeing blockchain games taking so far. They're not ERC tokens, is what I mean.
Oh, interesting. I didn't catch that.
So how does this work then, basically?
Like, I think, and I'm hesitating to speak too heavily on the technical details, but if I think it can be similar to the Pog setup was in many ways, wherein we all have an account, and these cards are attached to our address. And if we have the private key, we can prove that we're the owner of those cards. In terms of printing them, I guess what you would do is create a signature, similar to what you do on the blockchain when you send a transaction. You don't provide your private key, then people would take it. You create a signature that only the private key holder could have written.
Yeah.
And you broadcast that, and we know that must be him. In this case, I think you would print the signature.
Oh.
And then upon scanning, people could automatically detect. I think you could probably do it in QR code format. You could automatically detect that it was printed by the owner.
So hopefully he has a key, like something like this in the wallet itself, right? Scanning the printed code, for example. He doesn't necessarily need to have a QR code. Of course, it will be a standard, but maybe he just has his own codes, which he can just, people can just use their own wallet, for the same.
There are a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to me as well. Nerding out there.
Well, before we bust into the news, I think it's always fun. I haven't done this in a while to take a look through the DApp radar, or like whatever DApp site I'm looking at more commonly these days, just to see how things are doing, because daily active users is one of the things that a lot of people. Hold on a second. Daily active users is something a lot of people look for, right? And they really go up and down with gas costs and stuff. So at least on Ethereum, like my crypto heroes has consistently been above 2K for like a long time, to the point where like I'm not so sure it's like how much is just spam. And this one I hadn't seen before. If you click on it, it will be very loud. So
Don't
do
tell
it.
me about it.
A warning to anyone who wants to play Hyper Snakes. I couldn't figure it out. It was not in English. But something I was really happy to see is Zero X Universe is a game I used to play a lot. And they're up. They've been like steadily on the rise as I've been checking the last little while. And they're at like almost 1,000. I've seen them over 1,000, and I've seen them, around 500. But all those numbers are amazing, just for a game like this. And the mechanics are kind of cool. So I still have a ton of planets which gain resources over time. Unfortunately, the resources were maxed out ages ago, so my planets have just been kind of wasting away, like at full. But yeah, and it's going back to something you said about trying to judge what gives them value. Ages ago, I bought planet number 1,000 just because it was like I saw it and it was like the same price as any other one. I was like, ooh, collector's item. So I'll tell you, I put it up for sale for like a kind of dumb price. So we'll see if people care about things like what digital number they have on them, because there's only one planet 1,000. It's a significant number, and they're up to like 140,000 planets now have been found, and like each planet probably takes like 3 or 4 transactions to be found. So like that's this game's been out about a year, and they're probably like pushing like 500,000 transactions or more, including auctions. So yeah, I was happy I chose that one. It was one of my early games to get into. I'm probably sell off my planets at this point, at least some of them. But it was cool. It's cool to see them games that have actually stuck around. And then one other funny point is Blockchain Cuties, the CryptoKitties ripoff, past CryptoKitties for a little while now. Yeah, I thought so too.
Is it playable?
It's the same idea. It's just breeding.
Why is it so popular?
Because it was easy to do.
Who? Yeah, I mean,
it was the first example of ownership that like was kind of something. So people just copied it a lot. Like there was the dragons one, there was a puppies one, there's a whole lot of other useless ones. But yeah, Blockchain Cuties was, I think, just like a Chinese one. I don't think it had much specific differences other than they're like cute collectibles you can breed. Yeah, we'll mention this game later, Crypto Space Commander, but it's at 43. Like most games are gonna have a hard time seeing over 100 users a day. That's why when anything like either spikes up this high, I notice, or like naturally.
What's Chibi at? 87.
Chibi's Axie's sitting over 200, but yeah, Chibi's going down a little bit.
I need to help them. Maybe I should give you guys a sneak peek at the thing I discovered. I haven't fully figured out what's going on, but it's really interesting to me. I'll have to screen share. I can figure that out. Hold on.
All right, well, you get that going now. Why don't we go through our actual couple of our news things? So Space Misfits and another game. I don't remember the name of the other one. Basically, there's this push for MMOs right now. Turian. Yeah, so there's a push for MMOs right now because there's like MMOs all have economies and items, and like those are two things that blockchain can enhance, right? So they've got economy. Every game has an economy already, and wouldn't it be great if we actually trade the money freely? And then every game has items already, so it's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if those items were limited? So being like RPGs or MMOs really like or suck people in for the long term, like when they're really good, like EVE Online or like WoW. So it's like it'll be apparently Space Misfits has launched, but I haven't tried it yet. I think it said in May, end of May it launched. Yeah, so it's like a space MMO, more like EVE Online style than WoW, but yeah.
Yeah, these both games, Turian and Space Misfits, are very reminiscent of EVE Online. And I'm surprised the developers of EVE themselves have not started dabbling in cryptocurrencies. Because probably all of these people are EVE Online players. I'm certain that the developers of Turian and the developers of Space Misfits used to play EVE or still do, and were inspired by that, and are because EVE isn't making the move, and like you said, it's an obvious move, especially because EVE Online has an economy, not just the items, but when we're talking about an economy, the importance of money and who owns it and the system of money in the game is much greater in a game like EVE than it is in a game like Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah, it's insignificant, right? Because it's just usually you by yourself.
Yeah, and it's the people in EVE really nerd out on the economics. I mean, like, they are playing with spreadsheets, they're moving resources from one planet to another. It is, it's in that kind of game. Economic
Yeah.
thinkers like that game, and in that sense, it's just a low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Um, but
But the
yeah,
thing is,
sorry,
sorry,
go
I,
on.
I just wanted to say that on your point of why doesn't Eve Online does it, as a company. But what I've noticed is that the bigger the company is, it's harder to move, to new things. There are already a lot of things set up, and they don't they the bigger you go, the less risk you take. I think that's how all the industries are. So all these new people who are actually new projects, who startups, let's say, they are looking more into taking the risk, and I think it's really nice for the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, that's true, unfortunately. But yeah, the gameplay footage for the two games, Space Misfits and Turian, both look pretty nice. Um, so, well, again, I think I've said this in the past. I'm iffy about the ground combat. Stay in space. But
Yeah, because it's like two different games at that point, right?
yeah, I feel like I'm repeating my words on a previous episode, but it'll often be the case when you play a game like this that you go like, "Oh, another ground level, darn," or like it could be the opposite, or there's some games where only in the vehicle is fun, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of other examples, but yeah, anyway, those look exciting, popular in our chat rooms. What other news item? Oh, did you guys hear about the Abyss?
Well, I'm gonna mute this guy. So this is the other one. Yeah, we just looked at Crypto Space Commander, and this is what was the other one called? Forgetting.
Crypto Space Commander.
Oh, not just sorry. We just that's later.
Uh,
Too many
no,
games.
there's this. Oh, you mean the Star Trek game?
Yeah, they're adding a Star Trek ship in that game. I don't think it's much
Yeah.
of a.
Well, no, they're bringing. Let me check the link. Yeah, this seemed like big news. Game creator Lucid Sight bringing Star Trek to the blockchain.
Yeah, what it was is so the original game Crypto Space Commander is just like it's a spaceship game or whatever. But they got Star
Hmm,
Trek people to give them a license to put the Enterprise in their game.
I see.
Yeah, which like I mean it's pretty cool, especially for anyone who played that game. I remember when the game came out, like there was ship pre-sales, and I was like, it's one of the ones I didn't buy.
Hmm,
There's so many, right? And you're like, like how much can it really justify pre-saling into another game that may never exist, right? So,
yeah.
but at least with it, like it's like a good example. Like this one's coming around. Like a lot of them ones, like the pre-sale of items. Like as much as I hate on it a lot, like it's really a good funding model. Like it means you don't have to like take, VC money and be beholden to anyone. You can just literally like, pre-sell your users.
Yeah.
The downside being games always don't always come out, or sometimes they're just blatant scams.
Yeah. Well, this one looked interesting. I see you brought up the feed. Fortnite developers getting in on the blockchain gaming scene. Uh, so this new platform is called the Abyss. So this is interesting to note. So this is a Steam-like blockchain
Oh,
gaming platform, and in that sense, you might imagine it as a competitor to a lot of incumbents in the space. But I don't think that's accurate because they have engine games listed on their platform. So I guess maybe either those games are going multi-platform, or there's multiple layers here where like this is a final delivery distribution layer to players, and you could still have layers like of Zaya or of Engine or of some other, any blockchain game platform underneath that delivery and distribution layer. Or maybe these games are just going multi-platform, which is an increasing thing we've been seeing, where like they're on both ETH and Tron.
you lagged.
I lagged. Oh no, did I cut out?
Yeah, I still find that interesting. The games that go for both. Now your No, but now your voice is desynced.
Oh, my voice is it working now?
It seems like it came synced again.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the screen share is not staying on or something when I keep doing it. No. We are experiencing laggy technical difficulties at the moment.
Oh no.
We apologize. Maybe it's me. I'm host.
Oh, well, what are you trying to do?
Literally just click a button, screen share. The
Oh.
screen share keeps stopping automatically.
That's not cool. I need the screen share to show off my chibi findings.
No, my screen share just seemed to have stopped working. Are you seeing me or my screen share?
No, I see your screen share. We're still looking
really?
at Fortnite Maker teams up with Crypto's Steam competitor.
Okay, now, yeah.
Oh
Okay,
no,
well,
that's weird because I see his image. That's it.
What?
Yeah.
His avatar.
Huh.
So we're gonna blame YouTube for all this.
Whatever.
Google.
I can start broadcasting or presenting. I mean, or whatever.
Yeah,
But
and I'll just sit on the screen, whatever it has me as.
here's another. It's kind of like Diablo. Oh wait, am I screen sharing yet? I want to show some gameplay here.
Yeah, it seems to be weird. Let me just hop off the call and hop back in.
All right.
Wait, will that screw it up?
Can you see what I'm playing?
Yes.
So this game is, it's funny. In the review I saw of it, they were very careful to say it's not like Diablo, but that's just because of how early in development it is, I think. Watching it play, you'll see it's a dungeon crawler. A pretty high quality one, in my opinion. Like this is kind of dungeon crawler you could see people playing like Diablo. You can dodge hits a little bit, but it's just at this point there's only two classes, which is why it's being considered limited. There's the warrior class and the archer class, so you can hit people with a sword or shoot them with a bow, and that's it. But it looks nice, and I think, this is pre-alpha, they're calling it, so that's understandable. Going forward, it looks pretty promising to me. What do you think, Isaac? Are you still seeing?
Hello. Yeah. I was able to see it.
Oh, yeah, what do you think?
I think it's really seems similar, right? So like Diablo 2, for example, I used to play Diablo 2. Not much Diablo 3, but yeah, seems same. And there are a couple of games like that as well. I cannot recall them, but yeah, it seems exactly
Gauntlet
the same.
Warriors. Gauntlet Warriors.
Oh,
Guys,
Yeah.
remember that one?
you're back. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't remember that one.
It was good. It was another hack and slasher. You pick your
Yeah,
class and just rip through and mass click and stuff.
that's this, yeah. But those are fun, and in those types of games, item trading often becomes a huge thing. I remember it was in Diablo, and probably
I
the game
think
you
Diablo
mentioned.
3 especially it became very way big. The
Yeah, they
trading,
added real
the
world money into
golds.
that one stuff, right? I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, so this is a concept that I think is also right for taking uh, in blockchain games. Another interesting news bit I found was kind of a change of hands in the blockchain gaming space. We Let me see if I can find it. The Nova token. Yeah, if anyone remembers this, they had an ICO a long time ago. And they raised a couple million, and they had some investors as well, but they burned through it in the course of development of their games. Um, Long story short, they burnt through their financial runway as of December. This was last year. And so everything came to a halt, which some people found sad, obviously, because they
Mm-hmm.
had been working on games that people had been watching. Um, and they were kind of early on. So, but now, someone I know on Facebook, actually, part of the crypto Canadian community, has taken over as chief executive officer. of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Nova token platform. So this, just to recap, this is a blockchain gaming platform. There's lots of them out. As we've been noting, it almost seems like there's a new one every week. But this one is pretty well developed already. They just had to do some restructuring, I guess, in their business model and their company's team and such. I don't know what became of the old CEO, but this guy is, he's also introduced us at ESL Coin to some partners and friends. And I think he might be fun to have on our show. Maybe he'll come visit us in Vancouver.
Oh,
We'll
awesome.
see. I'm going to talk to him about it.
Oh, nice.
Fellow Canadian. Um, he can explain the new direction they're going in, hopefully. I think they're still. I mean, this happened 3 days ago, so they're probably, still figuring things out. I'm not sure, but should be cool to note. Still, while I'm still screen sharing, maybe I'll show my Chibi spreadsheet. I'm still screen sharing, right?
Yeah, you are.
So,
And
Spreadsheet.
mine's just broken, and so is my camera. So we'll just accept it.
okay, we'll just accept it and check out the cave. So, Chibi Fighters has the Crystal Cave. So, with the Crystal Cave, it works like this. There's a certain amount of shards. Shards are bits of ETH. They have real world value. Certain amounts in the cave, and when you put gems in the cave, you get some of the shards. If you put in half the gems, you get half the shards. So you want to put in more gems to get more shards, but you see diminishing returns in that as other people put in more gems, and you do as well, you're getting less and less shards per gem, right? Because you're dividing uh, an unchanging reward by a greater number of parties and a greater number of people.
Just like mining.
Yeah, sure. But we can actually derive some interesting things from this. So you can note here the USD value of the ETH shards we're fighting over. And since we can calculate how many gems, at any one time we can calculate how many shards we'll get for a specific amount of gems. That means we can extrapolate a real world value for these browser-based gem items. These gems are not on-chain. They're a little browser-based item that can be converted to on-chain, but they must have real world value, because if I add mine to the cave, I'll get shards, right?
Yep.
And so the game becomes to calculate how many will you get, how valuable are the gems, and because maybe some weeks are better for you to add your gem to the cave than other weeks, right? I'll show you. I've been keeping
Yeah.
track for 2 months because I'm a nerd, you guys. Look at my
Oh
spreadsheet.
man, nice.
So each week, this is a weekly battle. I've noted the ETH shard payout. I've noted the equivalent USD payout, the number of gems in the pool, and then I've taken some math from that. So it's simple division, really. I've calculated how many shards you'll get per gem and how many cents you'll get. How much money you'll get per gem.
Huh.
And I noticed something. Over a 2-month period, the value of gems stayed pretty much the same, all around 0.05 cents. The value of gems was almost balanced economically or token economically by something happening in the game or in the community that kept the value of a gem at 0.05 cents. So if we extrapolate, how many gems do I have? 700, 0.05. So 20 gems is a cent, 200 gems is 10 cents. I got at least 30, I got almost 40 cents, right?
Dude, that's like a whole transaction fee.
Well, they'll send it out to me in bulk.
No,
And
I know,
actually,
I'm just bugging.
Well, at this point, when I do on-chain things, which I don't as much lately, to be honest, the fee I'll pay like a cent. That's still too much for me. I don't want to pay a cent most of the time. I'm only getting 40 cents out of this here. But sometimes it depends on, well, I just calculate every day. Is it worth it for me to pay the cent? I'll do math. Um, but something interesting happened recently. The pattern broke. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 7 weeks. It stuck to 0.05 cents, and uh, so if more money was in the pot, mysteriously the community added more gems to the pool. Maybe someone else who plays Chibi Fighters also has their own spreadsheet and purposely maintained that balance.
Well, what it would be is you'd keep your gems that you weren't if the balance if it didn't look like a good payout, you would just save your gems for next time. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't want to put too many in because then you're just wasting your gems and lowering your own costs. So if you're like a gem whale, you'd want to make sure you weren't overdoing it. So basically, probably near the end of the week, right? It's a weekly thing. Near the end, you're like, okay, how many more should I put in?
Yep.
Before it becomes not worth it. So
that's what I do.
Shard makers.
But here's what happened this week. The pool became the reward pool, I mean, became non-static. At the start of the week, there were 1,572 shards in the pool. But as the week went on, the devs tricked us. They added shards to the pool. In fact, I think they added more. When I last checked, there was 1704. Now there's 1721. They've been adding. And in doing so, they've broken the pattern.
I see.
It no longer... Yeah, now I have to adjust my data, you guys, so you can watch in real time. See, I go 26.86. I think the devs are doing it on purpose. Because...
Yeah, to stop it from being abused, right?
Maybe. Well, maybe I'll just ask them. Hey, I'm on to you guys, and I'll post this video.
Yes. Ask them. Yes, ask them.
But so now we're at 0.08 cents per gem, and let's see what happened to the gem number. We're hovering there. So now we're hovering around 0.8. That's our new. I mean, I haven't fully done the math right now, but I can see it working out that way. 37957. Yeah, just trust me. So if you've been hoarding gems, now's the time to unleash your hoard. That's what I'm saying, you guys. Gem whales, dump your gems.
But if they do that, then again the reward will go down, right?
Well, I thought about this obviously. So that's hold on. Let me get back to our window here. I think I've done enough screen sharing. Yeah, I've thought about this, obviously, and so basically, I could dump my gems now, but what if all the other gem whales are dumping now, and the developers continue their new plan of increasing the gem pool over time? If all the other whales dump now, and this pattern continues till next week, then next week, the ratio might be better for me. Or they might, or the developers might stop dropping shards just to break their pattern and be random. Maybe I should just dump my. What do you guys think?
So it's a classic thing of being bullish or bearish,
Should I put my gems in the cave?
Just for the sake of showing how it works, you should pump some gems in.
Oh, I can show. Sure. Hold on. Let's see what happens. You seeing again? It's not that hard. So you just choose how many you want to get. Okay, so now, and also you get more data when you add gems. So because, typically I've been guessing, because see how I've noted the time remaining? We know that people can add gems to the pool until time 0. So the numbers we're looking at now will change before that timer. We're at less than 24 hours now. But at the end, when you get your reward, you'll know exactly how many gems you put in and see exactly how many shards you got. So basically, by doing this, I'm effectively getting lots of good data from my spreadsheet. And
Yeah, sorry. I was looking through the Nova token stuff. It's interesting. Interesting concept. Too bad it didn't work out for him.
well, they might restart now. We got a new CEO at the helm.
Yeah, it feels
But
similar to Engine. Like they're like making item creation easy. I feel like Engine's got so much like momentum behind it right now.
yeah,
Very
it
very
really
similar
does.
from what I'm reading. Yeah, very similar. But yeah,
Yeah,
also layer 2 sidechain on Ethereum. Like yeah, very similar. But Engine's got so much momentum right now.
they do, and you can tell they do from the language video game developers are using, developers from the traditional game industry. And I think they're impressed by the toolkit that's been made available to them for integrating Engine without great difficulty on their part. Um, Maybe it's just they got the word out about themselves more effectively. I mean, they had a war chest, so they hit all the conferences with nice.
Oh, they had a good timing on their ICO, and they were already an established company.
Um, so yeah, the way we can tell a lot from just when the last, for example, Space Misfits. We brought up a Medium article about them recently. It was posted in our Facebook group, and it was written by the developer. And these are former mainstream video game developers calling Engine a movement, like, and
Ooh,
themselves part of it. And that's a good sign for Engine when they talk about it in those terms, I think. You know,
Definitely.
um, yeah, they just good biz dev, good community management. Um, I don't think they can maintain a monopoly for ongoing forever. That hasn't worked in the traditional video game industry. Any monopolies, they all come and they go, right? Um, Although people consider the network effect more important in our space, but uh, I still think we'll have other platforms emerge that even if they aren't larger, will have games and stuff going on them. Um, and some console generations have been way more monopoly. Like the PS2 generation, Sony was just killing it, right, in terms of
Hmm.
sales
oh yeah,
and number of titles on their platform. That was just the Sony time. And maybe that's Engine right now. And that could be them for a little bit. But I think Sega was doing well at one point too, right? We have to keep in mind how quickly this moves. But
yeah,
still, yeah, I don't think they're going the way of Sega anytime soon. They're still just falling into their place. This is a young niche we're in.
yeah. It's actually just to go back to the Abyss thing for a second. Age of Rust is another game that's been around a while. That's looking like it was going to pop over onto the Abyss platform, and the Abyss seems to be mostly focused on MMOs, not just not like a full Steam competitor, but like MMOs specifically, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed, or I just assumed they had some background uh, in the mainstream game industry or at the institutional level because they're messing with Fortnite developers. So
Yeah,
I figured they're from somewhere important.
yeah, they have to be doing something right.
Um,
I
but
wish my
yeah.
screen share wasn't still broken for the record. It's super annoying.
Oh, is there something else you want to show?
No, I just don't like that things don't work properly.
Oh, well, yeah.
Everything
Sorry,
should always
guys.
work all the
At,
time. So it's
at least
Google's
I
fault.
got to show off my Chibi math. And
Yeah, very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
maybe by posting it, I'll just post this in Chibi Discord, and maybe we'll discover what, like,
What's
finds the
happening?
correlation. Yeah, there must be an equation somewhere that we could write that maps these correlations. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
anyway,
And maybe
super.
there is some person who is just messing around.
Yeah, yeah. There's no algorithm. There's a guy with lots of
There's a guy just sitting behind the PC.
The guy who doesn't want you to have a spreadsheet that works.
Oh yeah. You think I pissed him off?
Yeah. As soon as he's like, people are making spreadsheets, aren't they? All right, time to just throw some numbers.
Oh yeah. He could totally ruin my findings.
I would literally do that if I was him. So that's why I'm saying it. Like people are trying to figure out my game with spreadsheets, so I'm just gonna make up a new number to add every like no pattern. Or I'll give it like a pattern a couple times and then just like something different just to mess with everyone.
But only the developers can add shards to the pool, as they've done. That would have to be an insider.
Yeah, it's you would want to do that. So you want to give everyone an equal chance to your game, and if people are spreadsheeting, they've got a big advantage. So you gotta like basically say like, all right, you spreadsheeters are owning the noobs. So we gotta like help everybody. No, it's not, but it's an advantage. So they're just trying to cut that out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Man. Yeah, man. Blockchain games, there's money involved. Like people can just like. People are going to go through, even with small amounts, people are going to go through like hilarious, like extra steps to try and maximize their gains, like more so than like for any regular game currency, because I can actually feel like I'm winning. Yeah. I made more money than the other guy.
Well, browser games, by their nature of them, tend to lend themselves to spreadsheet-based manipulation because they have intricacies like that. Like I've done it before blockchain. I used to play a game called Cybernations, where I figured out the equation it uses to calculate your tax revenue. It's like, you run a country, you blah, blah, blah. And here is my reasoning. I should do whatever makes my tax revenue tomorrow biggest. And I did that every day. And after like a year, I had the top 30 nations in the game. Because when you do that, like basically only more powerful nations than mine were other people who also knew that, or people who were like paying for the pre-sale stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And at that point, I just converted my nation into a nuclear power and waged war on everyone. But these browser games allow that by they tend to be turn-based and have little economic trinkets to them, like gems and shards.
Yeah, so there is a best move, and it is calculatable.
Yes, that tends to be the case in these browser-based games, is what I'm saying. And I'm out of news to say, except for our next meetup, if you guys got any.
Yeah. Which one's the next one?
Geocoin guy.
Oh, awesome.
He's doing his, as a game, it's more like Ingress. It's you can drop tokens on a map, people go, people get them. I think he's also doing it like, so the physical geo tokens are also geo-tracked. Not sure how that works. He's put a device in them or something.
Yeah, actually I have one, I think.
Is there a GPS chip inside, or?
I think it's just maybe NFC or something, or like similar to that, where it's like short range.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I know there's a different project that's overhyping itself right now, Geo something, not this guy's, like for tracking items, like physical like supply chain stuff, where you'll pop the tracking token in your shipping box, or like, and it will, when it passes near another one, they kind of do a quick handshake, and then later, whenever it gets to like an upload station, it uploads all the data of where it handshook with the other ones. Yeah, I can't remember. It's Geo something. It might just be like, it's Geo something for sure.
Oh, it should be fun. We've had him as just an attendee at meetups before because he lives in the area. He's a cool guy. Hangs out at the Hackspace on occasion, and he's got his platform, or he's using the Ubic blockchain.
Yeah, which is a ETH code fork.
Yeah, it's our buddy Sturk's thing.
Yeah.
So maybe we could beam him in as well.
Yeah, pump that Ubic.
Yeah, pump the Ubic.
Pump the Ubic.
Yeah.
For our bros. No, it's all good, yeah.
Anyway, I just checked the Telegram. Didn't see any questions from anyone, so we're good. If you guys got any more news items you want to share?
No, but I will say sorry for the technical difficulties. I completely blame Google.
Oh.
Yes.
It thinks I'm still sharing, and it won't like stop.
That's okay. I just kept chatting with Isaac, or trying to.
Yeah.
Talk to News item or two. But yeah, I guess we'll see you guys at the next meetup.
Yeah,
It's
so
June.
it's 2 Fridays from now.
You said we're doing Thursdays now, so we did
Oh
it
yeah,
June,
we'll do it on a Thursday. So June 20th.
June 20, 7 p.m. Decentral. Or sorry, Decontrol. Don't sue us. All
Don't sue us, Anthony. God damn it.
right.
Oh, and randomness. If anyone's I get to go to the Bitcoin 2019 in SF in just after our next meetup. So I'm pretty hyped.
Where's that?
Oh,
Yeah, in San Francisco they're doing the
oh,
Bitcoin
nice, nice.
2019.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
Edwin Snowden is the keynote
yeah,
speaker there. Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
yeah,
Obviously
it's
not in
gonna be
person.
nice.
Yeah, it's got a stacked lineup, so I'm pretty hyped.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
Yeah, I gotta be repping my Doge stuff.
Represent, represent blockchain gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm helping out a friend shilling for his stuff because he needs to go early. So
Sounds
Nice.
good.
yeah. All right, so if anyone's there, come say hi.
Yeah, say hi to our friend. Anyway, I guess that's all for the news.
All right, I'm going to hit the stop button. Austin, thank you guys for being here as always. Sorry again for the technical stuff, and we will see you in 2 weeks on Thursday, the 20th.
All right.
I'm
Later, guys.
waving right now, but you can't see it.
You can see me.